You know that saying that all roads lead back to Rome? Well, in this scenario, Rome is going to be Ethereum, and this market is turning me a bit into an Ethereum maxi. In the last bull market, we saw Solana, Luna, and Avalanche gain massive traction against Ethereum as true L1 contenders. And this is because as Ethereum gained adoption last bull run, right, we recognized that it was incredibly slow, it was extremely expensive, and it didn't scale to meet the needs of the adoption that it was seeing. While there are a lot of layer 2 scaling solutions out there trying to solve Ethereum's problem, today we're going to be diving into one of my favorite ecosystems, which is going to be Arbitrum. We're going to talk about how Arbitrum works under the hood, as well as some of my favorite DeFi strategies, airdrops, and so much more. What's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. I am Crypto with Nick. I'm a crypto enthusiast and DeFi investor, and even though this market has been absolutely brutal, I still think there's a lot of opportunity on Arbitrum, and I'm going to show you some strategies I'm using to DCA into blue chips. So we're over here on DeFi Llama, and we can see that there's $52 billion of total value locked across all the different ecosystems that are being tracked here. And if we look at back in August in 2020, we can see that Ethereum had 96% of this pie. And as time went on, we can see all these different layer ones pop up, right? There's Polygon, there's Terra, there's the Binance Smart Chain. And we can see here, as we look today, Ethereum now just has 64% of that dominant. And again, that's because, right, as Ethereum gained all that adoption, it was extremely expensive. And unless you were rich or had really heavy bags, right, you were kind of priced out of Ethereum. You're almost forced to look at these other alternative layer ones, especially if you wanted to participate in something like NFTs or DeFi. If you're enjoying this video so far, hit that like button and please consider subscribing. It would truly mean the world to me as we work to grow this channel and onboard as many people possible into DeFi. Anyways, let's get back into it. If you want to dive right into the DeFi strategies and how I'm DCAing into blue chips, go ahead and just skip ahead. But if you're interested in how Arbitrum works under the hood and what is a layer 2 scaling solution, stick around because I got some info to share. So many different ways that people are working towards to scale Ethereum. We have everything from sidechains, which is going to be something like Polygon or Matic. We have something known as optimistic rollups, which are going to be Arbitrum and Optimism. We also have something known as ZK rollups. This is going to be things like ZK Sync, Loopring, and Starkware. So Arbitrum is known as an optimistic rollup. It's created by a company called Off-Chain Labs. And what does it mean to be an optimistic rollup? It means it believes all transactions are true by default and it is optimistic about them. There is this concept known as fraud proof, which is when actors challenge transactions to determine if they're legitimate or not. And if they're not, they go ahead and get reverted and then that person is slashed. And we can see here, while Ethereum is only to handle 14 transactions per second, Arbitrum scales that to 40,000 transactions. And we're on Ethereum, right? We've seen people pay hundreds of dollars, even thousands of dollars for gas, force, and mint. Transactions on Arbitrum are just a few cents. Now, there is another popular optimistic rollup known as the Optimism ecosystem. You can see here, this is a good chart that kind of breaks down the differences between the two, and this explains a little bit more why I'm bullish on Arbitrum, not only the team, but the technology behind it. It has everything from native ETH support, where Optimism, you do have to wrap ETH, right? It has things like multi-fraud proofs, where on Optimism, there's only single fraud proof, as well as the Arbitrum virtual machine, which I believe is superior to the Ethereum virtual machine. All right, so let's come back over here to DeFi Llama, right? Look at this. We can see that of all the total value locked, this is going to be for the Ethereum layer 2 scaling solutions, things like rollups. Arbitrum, $950 million, right? Almost 1 billion. Optimism just has around 290 million. If we kind of just scroll down, right, we can see all the different blue chip projects that have already built on top of Arbitrum. Things like GMX and Curve, Stargate. We have Uniswap, Aave, Beefy Finance, right? So all the biggest players are already building on Arbitrum. Whether you're already on Arbitrum or you're looking to bridge over, pay attention. There's going to be a lot of free opportunities to win some airdrops. We can see here an 8-week long journey into Ethereum's premier layer 2, Arbitrum. The Arbitrum Odyssey has begun. Week 1 is all about bridging. All you have to do is bridge some ETH to Arbitrum using one of these partner bridges here before June 27th. And if you are guaranteed to receive this kind of Space Cadet Arbitrum airdrop, which will be an NFT. And there's a special treat at the end of the week where if you can qualify for a bonus NFT if you use the one bridge that you think will have the most ETH addresses. And by looking at the data here from Dune Analytics, we can see that Hop Protocol is going to look like it's going to win this competition. So I went ahead, I bridged my funds over to Arbitrum using Hop Protocol. Fingers crossed that I'll get the bonus NFT. I went ahead and published this campaign status tracker, right? We can see here week 1 is bridging week. There's some speculation what the remaining weeks will be. Things like probably providing liquidity and using lending protocols, but be sure to follow the official Arbitrum account, right? They'll give you all the info you need to know. All right, let's dive into the DeFi strategies. Let's start with Stargate, which is going to help us generate some yield on our stablecoins. Welcome to the omnichain future. Stargate is a Layer0 project, and we can see here that it allows people to transfer native assets cross chains while accessing the protocol's unified liquidities pool. The reason that's important is because if you ever try to transfer tokens to another bridge or ecosystem, you have to use bridges. The bridge go ahead and lock up your funds and leave a synthetic out the other end. But if that bridge gets hacked, then your asset could be not backed by anything or it's not redeemable. So again, by moving the native assets cross-chain, right, we go ahead and solve some of that problem. This also is going to deepen liquidity because now we're all using the same token, right? We're not using wrappers, we're not using synthetics. Come over here to the farm tab, right? We can see pretty much supports all these different stablecoins across all these different ecosystems, Avalanche, Arbitrum, Matic, right? Over on Arbitrum, 6.19% paid out in the Stargate token. If you're bullish to Stargate token like I am, this APY can be much greater, right? Because if you anticipate the price to go up, that 6.19% isn't really true, right? Because if the token appreciates in value, then the APY technically goes up as well. Yeah, why don't I go over here? Let's filter it on Arbitrum because we are talking about Arbitrum today. So we have two options. It looks like really your only option is going to be USDC, but I think 6.19% on stablecoins is a pretty good trade-off. Next, let's talk about Curve Finance and how I'm using this project to DCA into Bitcoin and Ethereum because Curve is the backbone of all of DeFi. We'll go ahead and scroll down here. We can see the different pools here. This right here is one of my favorite pools, the Tri Crypto pool, right? It's 33% USDT stablecoin, 33% Bitcoin, and 33% ETH, paying out almost 7% Curve reports, and then 2.88 in the base assets, right? So more Bitcoin, more ETH, and it has about 20 million in TVL. This pool is going to help mute volatility just a little bit because it is 33% stablecoins, right? If the market starts to go to the moon, it's going to essentially sell off Bitcoin and ETH and buy more stablecoins for me to kind of DCing out of the position. Or if the market crashes, it's going to buy more Bitcoin and ETH, kind of DCing into the position. Because remember, when you provide liquidity to a pool, you are exposed to all assets and you exit the pool with the most underperforming asset. I often get asked to deposit into this pool, do I need to have 33% of all these different assets ready to go? And the answer is no. All you have to do is come here and deposit whatever asset you want. It will go ahead and balance it for you. But when you do so, make sure to deposit and stake engaged. It will be about 3 separate transactions you'll have to approve. If you don't stake engaged, you will not earn the Curve rewards. And when you're ready to withdraw, right, no matter what asset you put in, you can come over here to withdraw, right? And you can withdraw, again, in equal parts, which is usually the best rate. But if you're saying, I just want Bitcoin or just want ETH, you're able to do so. All right, let's talk about the number one application on Arbitrum, which is going to be GMX, a decentralized perpetual exchange where you can take up to 30x leverage. Don't worry, that is not what we're here for. We're going to be focusing on a different part of this platform. There's actually 2 different types of strategies on the GMX platform, and there's 2 different tokens. There's GMX, which is the governance token of the platform, and it receives 30% of all the platform's fees. There's also GLP, which is the liquidity provider token of the platform, and this secures 70% of the platform fees. The reason why I'm so bullish GLP is because it allows you again to become the liquidity provider token. What does this mean? This means that you are the house. You are the casino where people can come and play blackjack and play poker and win and lose. But as they always say, the house always wins. Deciding to invest in GLP, you essentially, again, you're going to buy a basket of these different assets. So the breakdown right now is going to be 57% stablecoins, and that's going to be stablecoins like USDC and Tether and DAI and Frax, but it's also going to be a basket of 25% exposure to Ethereum, 15.6% exposure to Bitcoin. There's some Link in here, just about 2%, as well as some Uni, just about 0.5. So we can see 57% stablecoins, Bitcoin, and ETH pretty much. One of my favorite things about being a GLP provider is because 1, you collect 70% of the platform fees, but you also receive 30% APR, 24% paid in ETH. Right, you also receive 7% in escrow GMX. Escrow means you do have to vest it for a year. So if you're bullish on the platform, right, this is just a bonus, but 24% paid in ETH. So again, this is going to give you exposure to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stablecoins. As those assets rise, you'll benefit. Your position will go up. Unfortunately, if they go down, right, they will go down as well, but you are going to be earning that 30% APR, and you don't have as much exposure because remember, 57% stablecoins. I wanted to show the analytics on the Arbitrum platform, but it looks like it's temporarily unavailable when I'm recording this video. So let's come over here to Avalanche. You can get an idea. We can see here that all these fees, look at that, 16 million fees distributed to GMX and GLP holders. Remember, you're getting 70% of these fees. Something to pay attention to. Remember, you are the house, you are the casino, so you win when traders lose. And you do lose though when traders win. And that's kind of already factored in here. But we can see over time that traders generally lose. Look at that. A cumulative loss, 42 million. Cumulative profit, just 36 million. Especially over the last few weeks, right? Traders have been getting wrecked because traders are optimistic in nature. They want to go long. We can see here over time that people right now are optimistically long. We can see here 5 million long in positions, just 1 million in short. And of course, we love seeing things like new users, right? Again, up and to the right. So it's awesome to see more people are coming to the platform. Again, more fees, which are going to be distributed to GLP holders. So that pretty much wraps up today, right? We talked about why we need layer 2 scaling solutions, why I'm bullish on the Arbitrum ecosystem as we dived into it and looked at 3 different protocols: Stargate, Curve, and GMX. If you have trouble getting started, right, all the links are good to be in the description, but come follow me on Twitter, drop me a DM, come join the Discord. It's free. We'd love to have you. But anyways, see you in the next one. Cheers and happy farming.